Let me also ask you this, and I mean, this is right up Ben's alley because he's a huge UCLA fan. Huge.
We're going to make a deep run.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, look, the trendy pick seems to be Minnesota. They come from
Minnesota's an 11 seed against UCLA, which is 6 seed. Minnesota opens a 2-point favorite in that game.
Really? Yeah. They're a 2-point favorite in that game? Well, rightfully so. Reed, what do you say to that?
I think it's the Jordan Adams effect. I mean, when your second leading scorer goes down, that's what people jump on. I think UCLA has been up and down all year. If Adams had still been healthy, they would be my equal pick to lose in the first round or go to the Final Four. Like I would have given them.
Yeah, they could. No question with Jordan Adams, they were capable of making a run. First of all, he's a wildly underrated defensive player. Turned into a pretty good defensive player, which you cannot say about the two other freshmen, Kyle Anderson and Shabazz Muhammad. He led the league in steals, which snuck. By the way, the guy did not make all freshmen at Pac-12. Led the league in steals, averaged 15 points a game, didn't make all. I think they felt like they couldn't put 3 UCLA freshmen on the team.
Your bias is taking over in this interview, by the way.
No, it's not a bias. It's an observation. I've seen 34 games, 34 brutal games to watch. But I still, you got to remember, the thing I liked about Minnesota, that I liked that we got Minnesota, is Minnesota finished the year like 7-10.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a good team. So I think the Bruins will win that first round game. And then because that'll set up a second round game against Florida, and we all know what happens when UCLA plays Florida in the NCAA tournament, and that'll be the end of that.
With Minnesota, yeah, they finished 7-10 or whatever, but one of those games they absolutely manhandled Indiana.
Yeah.
I was at that game, and it was just like, wow, where's this team been all year? It's an interesting first round matchup. Two teams that have, in many ways, underachieved this year, but at the same time have had these like hints of, oh man, these guys could be a dark horse going into March. I see why people are jumping on Minnesota and why it's become the trendy pick. Because frankly, Trevor Mbakwe is he's just a beast down there. He should be a UFC fighter. Done with basketball.
I don't disagree about jumping on Minnesota at all. I just find it interesting that like the trendy pick is a team that really just staggered for the last 40 days of the season. By the way, it's the last game of the tournament of the first round. It's the Friday night game, so there'll be a lot of people watching it, and there will be many bettors who will be like, okay, this is the game I'm going to get whole on. This is where I make up for how far down I am.
Well, look, here's the thing about Minnesota, Reed. I mean, look, we saw it against Indiana. I went to Indiana, by the way, side note, and I saw that game. And Trevor Mbakwe, if he could consistently put up like 16-12, 18-10, and he's just active on the glass, and the Hollins brothers are getting it going, then it seems like, not only, obviously they would draw Florida if they beat UCLA. I can't see them beating Florida. But, I mean, if Mbakwe has like 16-12, then they won't be beaten, it seems like.
Remember that Mbakwe's had a really tough road of it. He's a sixth-year senior. Yeah, he was at Marquette, was recruited by Crean, and then Crean left, and Mbakwe transferred. Had these knee injuries throughout his career.
Yeah.
I think this is a guy. If someone can say, "Hey, this is my last game as a college player. I'm going to play as good as I can play," I think that's going to be in his head, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has one of those 20-point, 12-rebound games.
Now, New Mexico is another one of those teams, obviously coached by the former Hoosier Steve Alford. They have a 3-14 game against Harvard.
Did he go to Indiana?
He did.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, went to Indiana and then was snubbed by the Pacers. Okay, look, they always seem like, similar to St. Louis, it seems like. They are that trendy pick to try and push to an Elite Eight. Many people had them in the Final Four last year. Obviously, they did not make it there. You believe that they will get out of the first round, but then in the second round, they would either draw Arizona or Belmont. Seems like a winnable game. Can you see them making a Final Four run?
No. Let me put a little, two little caveats on that. I haven't seen as much of them playing this year as I would have liked, and also I really root against teams like that just because it's such a boring style of basketball. If you're going to play a defensive style, I'd much rather root for Louisville, so I kind of let my personal feelings.
You must hate Wisconsin then, Reed.
Oh, I hate them, but I actually have both of those teams losing to Ohio State. So I think New Mexico will lose Ohio State, and then I think Wisconsin can make it to the Elite Eight. But I think Ohio State's a really hot team. That's a team that I thought was really mediocre in January that's just come on the past month.
I like New Mexico, and I like New Mexico if they can get up to would be a regional final against Gonzaga, which again, I hear that there are pitfalls along the way. Ohio State and Arizona is a peculiar team that can look like they're one of the 5 best teams in the country. Like most of many of the teams playing, many of the of those second-tier teams now. But if New Mexico could get to the regional final against Gonzaga, New Mexico is physical. They have scores. They slow the game down. That's the kind of team.
Good defensive team.
That's the kind of team that gives Gonzaga trouble. We think it's hard to tell who gives Gonzaga trouble.
Sure.
But Gonzaga doesn't like to be that physical, and New Mexico is capable of it. And then if that happened, they're certainly capable of beating Gonzaga.
I don't think Gonzaga makes it even that far. I mean, their second game would be against either Wichita State or Pittsburgh, 2 really, really physical teams.
That's right.
Third game against Wisconsin or Kansas State, in theory, 2 really, really physical teams. I mean, it's weird. They have like the easiest region and a road to the Final Four that is absolutely not what you'd want if you're them.
No, the reason that's the easiest region is because all those teams feel like they got a shot to beat Gonzaga. This is actually in many ways the worst region. It's the worst set of matchups for Gonzaga. But I think you make a really good point there.